David, what's going on, man? Oh, I got my audio going on over here. How's my music? Everything sounding okay? Oh, God. Sweet. Look at that. I'll have to talk to quality control. Can't believe that one made it all the way through the process. Are you putting it back in the day music? Yeah, man, this is my late night stream. I play like kind of oldies music. Welcome in, by the way. All right. So we're going to make more of our steelhead jigs here. These guys here. But I need to get a few things going here because I kind of ran out of red the last time I did these. Let's see. First, we're going to need the feathers, which we got here. We got the black feathers. Then we're going to need the chenille, the black chenille for the tail piece. So black chenille and the feather, that creates that tail piece there. So I got the feathers, and then I got the chenille. The next piece we're going to need is the heavy chenille for the actual body itself. Like I said, I'm running out of red, so ooh, you know what? No, I am not. Apparently I was bright enough to buy myself a whole new thing of it, so. William Play, what's going on, man? Welcome, new face. How are you tonight? I got like 2 things of pink. Look at me go. Thought I was running out. Okay, let's get started. Man, it's been a minute since I've been back at the Vice, so it feels nice. Been over in Playland in Hawaii, man, doing some fishing over there. Not gonna lie, coming back here and trying to do some like crappie and bass fishing over here is gonna feel a little rough getting into that. Okay. So, first things we're gonna need is that micro chenille. And for the few of you that are watching right now, if we can get the stream going, I would like it that between this stream, maybe the next 2 streams I got going on, but the stream's got to get to 20 likes, and then we're going to give away a jig painting fluid pot, 2 of them with the pump, so you can make your own jigs like these ones. So we got to get the stream to 20 likes. Maggie, how are you? Welcome. Bunch of new faces in here. I love it. That's what I hope to see, man. Little rascals. I gotta stay unique, David. I gotta do something different. Okay, so we take this, for you guys that haven't built these before, we take this micro chenille and then we're going to fold it so you have a loop. And then we put that right there. And you notice I only went about a quarter way on the shank with the thread. That's because we want to fold this over and create that real short tail. So I'm looking for something even a little bit shorter than this. That was probably a little long than I did the first time. So I think with this one, I kind of just briefly folded it over. I can tell what the length is kind of going to look like. So we're going to go with that. the late stream, typically I like to do this like kind of slow down music. I think people typically like it because it's a little bit more calming. And yeah, thank you so much, Maggie. Like I said, we're gonna run a giveaway tonight, but it may not be tonight if we don't get to 20 likes on the stream. If we go 20 likes on the stream, I'm giving away stuff to make your lead head like this one. So a little slow to start this morning for this evening, but these streams run late into the night for me, depending on how many people join in and whatnot, that kind of thing. But I got some new lights set up. Thought that was something interesting and cool you guys might like. Okay, so now we got that in. Now we got to pick a feather here, and I'm looking for something kind of just long and slender, kind of like that one there. Actually, no, that one. Much more slender and long. That's what we want. And I like to just typically just get this back end out of my way to begin with. Then I start preening these feathers back, and they start to splay out. You gotta see that there, how they're splayed out now? Because I put the front of the feather in first, like so, and wrap that all the way to the head and then back. Boom. Adventures! What's up, man? Welcome, dude. Eight likes? Damn, we're almost there already. Maybe you saw that you uploaded some new stuff too, man. I want to go check that out here in a minute. I've not had a chance. Got to watching TV with the wife. That new Clarkson's Farm show is out. Oh my God. We've watched that like every season now. Cut that feather in the same length that we did our loop, because we're going to use those to wind them together. I get my trusty 5-gallon bucket here from Lowe's, and then I'm looking for my hackle pliers. And what we're going to do, we're going to pull these both up like so. Annabelle, welcome, welcome. Nice to have new faces in the chat. I'm making fishing lures for salmon and steelhead. Hold on, I'll show you a picture. Give me 1 second. People like the photos. Let's see. I use a jig like this one here, which is what we're making, to catch fish like these here in Pacific Northwest of the United States, because I don't know where everybody's hailing from. So, Ramirez, welcome, welcome. Another new face, man. I love it. Yes. People chatting too. Okay, so now that we got our feather and our chenille wrapped up here, we're just going to start spinning. Dylan or Dalen? I can't read that right now. Sorry. I think it's Dalen. Welcome, man. Thank you so much for joining in. Again, another new face. Okay, so now that I've spun this up, you guys can see where these feathers are now starting to splay out, and it's giving us that effect that we want with like this, right? Here, girl. Oh, I'm sorry. I went to public schools in the United States. We don't learn a whole lot. Okay. So once those are kind of splayed out, what we're going to want to do is we want to fold this over on each other. Day, okay. Can you have one? I don't really give these away. I just kind of make them for entertainment and for myself, and then I give them away to people on the river, but that's about it. But I am doing giveaways soon of some flies, so make sure you guys subscribe, and I'll give away a whole box of flies. So, okay, sorry. So this one here, what we're going to want to do is you see where I've spun it up. I spun it, and you guys saw me spinning it. Once it starts to do that, you see where it wants to buckle? That's when we know we've spun it enough, and then we can just put, this is just a hackle needle, or I don't know what the actual term of the tool is, but put that in there where that buckle is, and I just kind of push this over, and then let it spin on itself, and that's going to create that tail. Like I said, I wanted a shorter tail on this one, so this is actually going to work out great. That's perfect. Then just trim that down a little bit, and then we can tie that bad boy in. And bam. That is our tail. So now you guys
This Hulu Plus Live TV lineup is
stacked. Thanks, David.
Live TV.
I knew it before, man. I just
and ESPN Plus.
Yeah. It's been a minute, man. It's been a minute. I haven't streamed in like 2 weeks. So there we go. Now you're starting to see the tail, but that's a little bit shorter tail, which is actually more what we prefer. So next piece we're gonna want in, which I didn't mention earlier, is we're gonna want yarn. I got this red yarn here. I'm gonna flip this over real quick, and then I'm gonna take a piece of my yarn, cut that free like so. Suck at making them? Oh man, it just takes practice, dude. Honestly, like everybody when they first start, they're not very good, but once you kind of learn a few of the techniques, you start to see yourself improving really quickly. So my suggestion is don't stop, man. If you like doing it, keep going. There's a lot of people here on YouTube that actually make money off these things. Me personally, I just like to make them and sit here and stream with you guys as entertainment. But there's a lot of people out there making them and selling them. If you need some and you're in the Hawaiian Islands, which probably rare, but if you need some, David Kia Smith here in the chat makes the best flies, hand down, for anything of the saltwater variation. I didn't. I was going to. We even chatted about meeting when I was there, but he's on a different island, and as much as I'd want to meet him, I didn't have the funds to jump on another plane and go over that direction. But I am saying my wife and I both decided we are going to be going back, so I think we'd be going back on, I think, the Big Island. So I might get an opportunity then to meet David, which would be absolutely killer. Gerhard, welcome. Thanks for saying hi in the chat, man. Appreciate it. Okay, so now that we got our loop underneath there, which I know it looks heavy, but we're going to cut that. And then we're going to, Nick, can you make me a fly for bluegill and bass? Yeah, we could do that. Let me finish up some of these steelhead ones. I'll do 2 or 3 of these bad boys, and then I will make you a fly for bass or anything like that. I make some actually bluegill jigs that you might like. All right. Okay. Now we've got our new pink chenille. This is the heavy chenille, so it's much thicker than this stuff here. Because now we're going to start wrapping the body on this. This is where I always either shoot myself in the foot or give myself too much. I'm thinking I'm going to cut it here. Hopefully that's enough for us. Wrap our thread to the front, give it a half hitch, pull that out. Now I can start, no, maybe, hold on. Bring this tool around here, keep our thread that way, and we can start wrapping up the body. Ooh, did I do it? Oh man, I almost shot myself in the foot again. Look at how much I had left. Get that back out of our way. Make sure we capture that good. A couple wraps on either side. I float it to the left and then I flip it around, float it to the right, just like so. Now that we've captured it good, we get in with our scissors and we cut off that little bit of extras. I mean, technically, it almost looks like I know what I'm doing there. That's my waist. Stardusted in the chat. What's up, man? Oh man, now I'm starting to see some familiar faces. I was getting worried there for a second. Okay. Just like that, we pretty much have our jig set to go. We just got to finish it off now. Now I need to use a tool called a whip finish. That's this crazy looking thing. And a lot of tool kits that you get if you're just starting out with fly tying, you're going to come with this thing and you're going to look at this thing and you're going to think, this is too much for me. Once you get the hang of these things, it's actually pretty easy and smooth to use. And yeah, it's not that bad. It might look kind of crazy when I do it here, but once you kind of figure it out, you pretty much got it. It's like riding a bike. Just loop over, create yourself a triangle like that, and then you just wrap over the jig or the head of the fly, whichever, a couple of times. My lucky number 7. Pull it out, and boom. You're tied off, and that is a knot on there that's not going to come loose. Most of the time, that is. Most of the time. Okay. Then we're going to put a little bit of our glue on the head of this thing, just like so. And then always put the needle back in the head of this thing, because I did that once and I didn't put the needle in it, and then the tube filled up with glue. And then, so funny story actually, the tube filled up with glue and then it got hard, and so I was like, oh crap, I can't use this thing. So my geniusness thought if I just kind of hit it with a lighter, this would warm up and it would break free, and then I can try and use it again. This glue's flammable, so it turned this into just basically a Bic lighter for a good 15 minutes or so. Got myself a little worried, and then I was able to get it undone, and we were good to go. Dusted's in here. I'm gonna roll back to the chat here. Do I sell? Day asked, do I sell them? I don't sell my jigs. Like I said, there's a lot of people in here that do. There's a lot of fly tyers out there that definitely do. Like I said, I just make them for entertainment, and sometimes I will give them away on the stream, or I will give them away to people that I meet on the river, so, or the lakes, or wherever I may happen to be. But like I said, we get to 20 likes tonight. My old man, my dad, he makes my jig heads for me. So I can do this without spilling these. All these jig heads that you guys see here are given to me by my old man, who has probably one of the better jig making systems out there. And he usually joins me on streams. He did last night, but we had some technical difficulties, but all different colors and shades and whatnot. But you can buy these jigs pretty cheaply unpainted online. And then if you wanted to try and paint them yourself, I even got these big bad boys here, bear with me, that I use for like salmon jigs in multiple different colors. Like, oh, here we go, we got like pink, blue, red. Anyway, he's making kits for what we call a float bed, and so it's the paint that we use is called powder paint, and so it's very, very much powder. And when you do it, you just dip them in the powder paint once it's all warmed up, and then you basically have them colored. You put them in an oven. Maybe one of those nights we can kind of run through it with his stream and show you. But nonetheless, 2 of the powder paint kits, powder paint float pods, and a pump to run them. It's like a $150, $200 kit. he made, very well made, and we're giving it away tonight on the stream. Once we hit, let's make it 25. We're doing good tonight, so let's make it 25 likes. I will give that away to somebody. I have photos of it that are on my phone right now that I forgot to make in the community post, but it is going to be given away, so you can actually make your own jigs, sell them online, and start your business that way if you want to do it. Megan, welcome so much. Thank you so much for joining the chat. Okay, so we've cut that yarn, like I said, and we are pretty much done with this jig now. This is all said and done. And we can add it to our pile. Like I said, I like the shorter tails on these. I got a little too long with these ones here, but it always seems to happen with my first batch or so. So we got some light pink and some dark pink. But these things are killer for catching, big salmon and steelhead like this. You're gonna miss it? Maybe not. Maybe not. If we don't get to 25, man, it's gonna roll over to the next one. So, and then I still got to give away the fly box full of flies. So that's gonna be in one of the other live streams too, which will be like next week sometime. So if you're not gonna use the float pots and you don't want to participate in it, totally fine and totally happy, especially if you don't feel like you might use it. I'd really appreciate it if someone that thought they were going to use it would pick it up. MG Fishing, welcome. Thanks for joining the chat. But anyway, if you thought you were going to pick it up, and use it, then I'm more than happy. But if you don't think so and you think maybe the flies might be the better option for you, well then make sure you guys join in on the next live stream, and we're going to give away the full fly box of flies. So I've been trying to give that away, and I just, between my trips and whatnot, that was my 500 sub giveaway. We're going to do that either in the community post or I'm going to do that in the live stream, but I think live stream is going to be the better option for that. So Maverick, well, welcome to the chat either way, man. Good to have you. And Matt, I can call you Matt. I will definitely call you Matt, man. Thank you guys so much for joining the stream. I'm loving all the new faces tonight. This is killer. All right, we're gonna make one more with the white. Why do you have a white jig head? Because these are, that was Nimby's question earlier, sorry. But this pattern, the pink and the white and the black, is known as the nightmare jig here, that are for sale in the stores in the Pacific Northwest. How you guys feeling about the lights, by the way? That's a new addition. Should I keep it, or is it too much? You can call me when the cheeseburger's ready. Maverick is my bird's name. Oh, right on. Lights are gold? Sick, man. I thought they'd be kind of fun. They like change. They do like a northern light thing. And they got like the green lasers that go in there too. Plus I got my light underneath my arm there. That's got my other thing going on. So I'm trying to get the vibe, Okay. So here we go again. Get our thread on there. Whoa. There we go. My wife said, I'm going to stop watching Clarkson's Farm. I knew that the episode was almost over. She's still out there watching TV. I think she's watching the show without me. Okay, we got our base done. Lights are gold. I do like the lights and stars. Sweet. Said I'm here to entertain, I gotta make sure it's entertaining. Music is a bit loud. Okay, perfect. That was what I was asking earlier, so I'm glad someone matched out. Hold on 1 second, I'll fix that. Actually, I can do it from here. How's that? that any better? Day, thank you so much. I appreciate that loads. I'm small. I'm a small YouTuber. I don't even call myself a YouTuber. I'm small on YouTube. How about that? And I'm doing it somewhat uniquely. I am only on YouTube. This is where you will only see my stuff. I'm not on Instagram. I used to have Instagram, but I no longer have Instagram. I'm no longer on Facebook, or I'm not on Facebook. I'm not on TikTok. YouTube strictly only. So it's kind of like a social experiment. Is can you actually just grow a channel with one platform? Because frankly, I'm old school, and I don't want to turn this into something that feels like it's a job. I like to have fun with it, and that's kind of what I'm doing with it so far. I like making my videos, and I like interacting with you guys on the live streams, and I started to like doing shorts. I make some fun shorts, I think, but not my favorite. Short form content is not my favorite, but I think of a video and I put it together and I think it looks cool, and so I just put it out there. It's been producing pretty well for me lately. Okay, we're looking for another thin feather like this one here. Gray, thank you so much, man. And Grayson, man, both of you guys, appreciate it. Yeah, same. Every time I go live, it kicks me off for like 5 minutes for some reason. Do you know why? That I don't know why. I've never had that issue. I've just had connection issues. Have been my nemesis. Megan saying hi again. What's going on? I guess I'd be the kid, right? What do I fish for? I fish for pretty much everything. I'm like an all species angler. So I go for, well, my pattern, my normal yearly pattern has been thrown for a loop this year. Typically, I start with kokanee, and then I move to trout, and then from trout, I move to bass, and then when I move from bass, I move to salmon. Well, this year I went to Hawaii. I filmed a whole video. If you guys want to go check it out on my channel, my newest one called Mahi Mahi Fishing. I went all the way out to Hawaii, and I fished open waters for mahi mahi, which has been my all-time like bucket list fish. I ended up getting 7 of them while I was out there, so it was a pretty dope video. But yeah, so now we're going back into springtime, that kind of thing, and so right now I am going to be going for probably bass in the next couple of days, hopefully. Okay, so we got our loop again, we got our feather again, and now we're going to start creating that tail. Megan, I really hope you're asking about fishing rods, and I've got many of them, so I'm not sure what you're asking for. But if you're asking for something rude there, I don't. Careful. I love fishing. My dad is giving me $100 for my grades, and I am bringing fishing stuff. Can you give me anything to get something? I have a limited of 150. So I don't sell my jigs. I just make them for entertainment purposes. But there's a lot of people out here that if you're looking for fishing lures for crappie or anything like that, Crappie Man Jigs here on YouTube, and then there's Reuben Jigs that makes pretty nice stuff. So take a look at their stuff, and they're pretty cheap. But if you're just starting out, man, and you only got $150, hit the big box stores to get you going, and then from there on out, you can kind of work your way into some of the more custom stuff. Would be my recommendation. Okay, we got a tail going there. And then I'm going to wrap that up. Boom. We've now got our tail wrapped in there. You like that, Oregon? Huh? I'm here for the entertainment, man. I gotta bring the entertainment to the people. No, like, and things to get or advice. Thanks. Oh, for sure. So, what is it you are? What is it you're trying to fish for? Mahi, by the way, sock slingers. I saw that. Yes, it is absolutely delicious fish. I had it the first time when I was there, and it is amazing fish. Thank you, by the way, Stock. I like fishing, but I ain't got enough subs to.
We're looking for adults 45 and under to be in our HPV vaccination.
To live, fish, or play
Sound like you?
games or anything.
In a relationship.
If you're sexually
Not sure what you're talking about, man.
It could still be you.
I'm too old.
If you're under 45, you're not. For most people, HPV clears on its own, but for those who don't clear the virus, it can cause
We are
certain
entertained.
cancers.
Continue your entertainness. Nice.
Wow. Gardasil 9 is a vaccine given to
Love
adults
it,
through age
Stardusted.
45 that can help protect against certain HPV-related cervical, vaginal, vulvar, anal, and certain
Okay,
head and
so
neck
I got
cancers
my-
such as throat and back of mouth
My
cancer
yarn here,
and genital warts.
and we're gonna create that
Gardasil 9
loop
doesn't
underneath.
protect everyone. It
We're
doesn't
creating
treat
this
cancer
piece
or
down
HPV
here.
infection. These diseases may have many causes.
Your doctor may recommend
take my
screening
yarn.
for
It's a
certain
little thick, so I'm gonna
HPV-related
half it.
cancers. Routine cervical cancer
My
screenings are
PB
still needed.
largemouth bass was.
You shouldn't get Gardasil 9 if you're allergic to the vaccine, its ingredients, or yeast. Tell
I
your
want to
doctor if
say
you
it
have a
was
weakened
6,
immune
but
system,
I'm
are
not going to
pregnant,
do the
or plan
fisherman
to.
thing, and I
The
have
most
no
common
proof
side
of
effects
that.
include
But I'll
injection
just
site
say
reactions,
let's just
headache,
call it 5.5,
fever,
which is
nausea,
pretty
dizziness, tiredness,
decent. I have
diarrhea,
some
abdominal
good.
pain, and sore throat.
Wait, did he say largemouth?
Fainting can also happen.
Largemouth. I don't really,
Help
you
protect
know,
yourself
I don't
against
fish
certain
much for large.
HPV-related cancers.
I go
Talk
for a
to
lot
a
of
doctor or
smallmouth. Hang on,
pharmacist
I'll
today.
get you photos. Hold on 1 second.
Is divided. The time is now. Watch the slayer.
Got a lot of photos of bass here. Okay. We're close to that 25. So that is my, like, one of the bass that I catch, a smallmouth bass there on the lake. It's not really my biggest. It was just one of that day that was really just turning out well for me. That's not a bad smallmouth there that I caught a couple years back. And then these are some of my tankier ones. This one was like 18 inches long. I had my scale with me that time, so I was able to put him on a length scale. So he was 18 inches long. He wasn't really fat, but he was just super long, which gave it an awesome fight. And then I've got that one there. That was in Eastern Washington. And that little, you see that, those kind of down trees back behind me? That's actually where I pulled him out of with a jerkbait. And then this is probably my tankiest fish. I think he was in the realm of 6, 7, somewhere in there. But he's just fat. Like, you can kind of tell how fat he was. I don't fish beds. So this was late in the season, so he must have just ate like a pig. He must have had rain in the whole area. So, okay, let's get our yarn on here. Never fish smallmouth. I highly recommend it if they're in your area. I like largemouth, but I feel like largemouth know that they've been fished quite a bit and caught quite a bit, and I feel like the smallmouth fight is very, very good, and which for me is what I'm out there to do is to get in a good fight with fish. So I find that more fun for me. But that doesn't mean I won't fish for largemouth or crappie or really any other fish. I think it all depends on what rod you use for what you're doing. If you're trying to use a salmon rod to catch crappie, you're not going to really have a great time because you're not using the rod for what you need it to do. I'm not giving something away, Sasquatch. You are. And I set it to 25 likes, so we're already almost there. So, K-Fish has activated popcorn scent deployment system for the next few moments. If you don't double tap the screen, your phone will smell like popcorn. Yeah, let me just click the button for that. Smallmouth absolutely fight better than largemouth aggressive lakes and more aggressive fights. Oh yeah, dude. My wife's very first bass was a smallmouth. I had a picture somewhere around here, but she didn't even know. She was. I told her just to kind of work a net head, and he picked it up the bottom, and it's working. And she freaked out. She had no idea what was going on, and I was like, "Reel, just keep reeling." And she pulled out a nice smallmouth bass, but she was now she's like, "I want to go fishing," and I was like, "What do you want to fish for?" She's like, "I want to fish for smallmouth." I'm like, "All right." But Memorial Day, I think we're gonna join the madness of the lakes again and go for some more trout, and then I'm gonna do probably like a catch and cook. There's gonna be 3 of us on the boat to that day, so it's gonna be fun. Final wrap. 26 likes. What do you guys think? Should we do the giveaway now? Okay, finish wrap on either side. No, the big man said yes himself. Cut off our excess. Had a little too much excess on that one, fortunately, but that's all right. Give the last couple head wraps here. The giveaway is I was going to do it in my community post before I started the stream, but I got a little behind and didn't do it. But what it is it's a fluid bed for making your own jigs. It's 2 of them actually. So what it is the color of this jig here this jig head here is white, and all these are different colors in here. And you can buy unpainted jig heads online, and this fluid bed will allow you to paint your jig heads however color you want. The kit itself is like $150 if you were to go to buy it online. My dad, the Simple Sasquatch Adventures there, or the Sasquatch Adventures in the chat, he makes them, and he wanted to give one away tonight. So I will set up a giveaway in the chat since we hit 25 likes, and we will set it as a code word. And then anybody that wants to win that, if you think you would use it, again, if you don't think you'd use it, stay tuned for the next live stream, and I'll just give away some like a fly box full of flies. So maybe some jigs if you want them. But yeah, give me 1 second here. We'll set up this giveaway. You guys talk amongst each other. Okay. Yeah, so the pump itself with 2 wiring hoses and 2 fluid beds. So again, it's a whole startup of a jig making kit ready to rock. You can start making them and selling them online yourself. So right now, if you in the chat type the word Kfish with a capital K, that will enter you in the giveaway. Stardust it is in. I can see it now. Let's see here. Sorry, guys. I know it's not entertaining for a second. I'm making sure. Okay. For some reason, it wasn't running, so do it one more time. Go ahead and throw Kfish in the chat, and I will be able to see it as they pop up. Oh, come on. Tell me you're running. Scott, welcome, by the way. I'm having issues with Nightbot here, guys. Give me 1 second. Yeah, more tech problems. Yeah, right? Seriously. All right, someone throw Kfish back in there again. Let me see if it's working this time. Come on, you bastard. Try lower K. I don't know why it would be. You guys are typing in, but it's not. You guys can see what I'm looking at. It's not showing me as entered. K-fetched. Oh, man. It's not doing any of them. Why? Let's try this again here. Nightbot, stop being a bitch. let's see. You tie flies too, Bert? Appreciate it. Thanks, man. I'd love to see your stuff. Thanks for chatting is what I meant to say. Sorry, I'm trying to get... I ran this before and it ran great, and so tonight when I'm actually trying to run it for real and not as a test is when it decides it wants to give me all kinds of hiccups here. Oh, was it because I had a frickin' space after it? Okay, guys, type Kfish with a capital K, fish underscore. Let's see if that was the hiccup. Okay, that was the hiccup. It's fixed. You guys are now being entered into the giveaway. I got 2 so far. There's 3. You type in Kfish, and we'll let that run to the end of the stream here. Well, we'll let that run for a while. Yeah, no, let's let it run to the end of the stream. We'll pick one at the end. Big giveaway. It's an expensive item, so we're, you know, I want to make sure that we're everybody gets a chance to enter here. I've got Fish and Games, Stardust, Ephorium, Darrelson. You're all in there. Fish and Games, you're in. Yep. I got 4 people. 4 people in the giveaway. We'll let that run. Oregon's now in there. Let's go. All right, we'll do one more of the white, and then someone wanted to see maybe like a crappie jig or a bass jig of some kind. I'll do a crappie jig because I need some more crappie jigs. $26. So I'll just say it right now. If you guys, because I was just kind of away from screen for a little while there. If you guys didn't know what was going on, we are actively running a giveaway since we got the stream to 25 likes. So if you type in the chat right now the word Kfish with a capital K, you'll be automatically entered to win the fluid bed, which is, it's 2 fluid beds and a pump, so you can paint your own jigs and start your own jig making company if you wanted to. It's very high-end made. Like I said, it's online. You were to buy these fluid beds, they're like $150 for one of them, and we're giving away 2, a dual kit, so you can do mixed colors. You could actually do stuff like mixed colors like this one, where it's red on top and yellow on the bottom, and some other ones like that. Okay, but for our steelhead jig here, we're gonna need our micro chenille one more time. I gotta keep my desk neat here. And we're gonna cut off a section of this, and we're gonna make our tail loop. I am selling it, man. You worked hard on those damn things, and they're really dope. So I wish last night's stream would have worked out a little bit better, and we could have done the duo stream, and people could see your jig making setup. I feel like it would have sold it a lot better to people. But to be able to do that tonight, I'd have to end this stream. I learned that with Oregon. You can't just jump someone in on a stream that hasn't already been set up to do a duo. YouTube's got a lot of catching up to do when it comes to the streaming side of things. I think they're fairly fresh. Okay, now we're gonna look for a nice feather here. Looking for something slender, like this one here. Yeah, so his the pump system that he's giving away is a two pump system. So it's 2 fluid beds on 1 pump that you can run an actuator on. But his is a 5 pump, 5 or 6. I think it's 5 pump system that that you can run 5 different colors simultaneously on. So if he's got a whole large batch, he can make multiple colors all at once. He likes to over-engineer things. I will say he engineered it crazily. Okay, we take our feather and we take our chenille. We're going to put those together and use our hackle plier here. Pinch that like so, and then we're going to start our spin up to create our tail. This one doesn't have a whole lot of feathers to it, but should work out just the same. AC, hey Oregon, can you take care of that ACVR chat thing, please? Okay. Now we got our tail in there. Gotta make sure I get all my feathers pruned back. There we go. And we start wrapping to the front. That's gonna get our tail all the way tightened in. Boom. I kept it pretty short on this one, which is actually pretty nice. What am I making, Clover? Welcome to the stream, by the way, and thank you so much for chatting. I'm making these steelhead jigs for here in the Pacific Northwest. We use these to catch fish similar to what I do with it. There it is. This one here. This is a salmon, but steelhead is roughly the same size. Thank you, Darrison. Appreciate it, man.
UFC stocks fresh produce daily, making sure it meets your high standards.
Okay, so now that we got our tail piece in.
I'd do anything.
Surprise!
Oh, I'm from Australia? Yeah, I figured this late at night I'm going to get people from all over the world, so I figured
You're going to need all.
I give the full explanation in case you don't know, but yeah.
We've got
I'm from the Pacific Northwest here in the United States, and we catch mostly salmon and steelhead.
On every purchase.
If you are interested in what we catch here, Oregon Fishing Adventures, who's actually in the chat, he does a lot of steelhead fishing, and he's a great channel to follow.
That is me.
I don't have much steelhead stuff on my end, but I do have a lot of other fish and tech info and fishing gear info and all that kind of stuff on my channel. So. Okay. So now we're going to take this. Oh shit, I got way ahead of myself. Never mind. We're going to take this, which is our yarn, and we're going to cut this section free. I'm in America. What time do you go live tomorrow? So my schedule for my channel is Yeah, I got your text message, Dad. I understand. My schedule for the live stream is Thursdays. I go live with some sort of guest, with whether it be my old man or a fellow YouTube person, and that's usually earlier in the evening. And then what you're catching right now is my late stream, which is on Fridays. I stream pretty late into the evening to catch people that are around the world. So then Wednesdays are my video uploads. Last week I had an upload, which was my mahi fishing in Hawaii. I fished for sailfish, swordfish, and marlin, wahoo, and mahi. I didn't get any of them other than the mahi, but honestly, man, mahi was my top tier bucket list fish, and I was able to finally scratch that one off the board. So definitely go check it out. Okay, last piece here is we're going to put on our thick chenille. And then knuckle pop. Sorry, it's a habit, man. It's hard to break. Been doing it for years. Mahi and marlin are my dream fish. Yeah, dude, same. My most recent, like I said, I got to fish in Hawaii for them. We went out for 8 hours on a charter boat, and really experienced guys. We fished originally for the start of the day. We fished for our bait, which was oh shit, now I'm gonna forget the name. Anyway, we fished for bait, little fish, mackerel. We fished for mackerel, and we caught quite a bit of the mackerel off of a ledge. Really fun to catch those little things. And then we put those in our bait pile, and then what we did is we rolled out to a couple of buoys, because apparently that these mahi are so freaked out about sailfish and that kind of stuff coming in and attacking them that they will bound up on top of these buoys. And so you can just fish these buoys, and these mahi will smack at these things. Well, we just happened to find a buoy that had 7 of them hiding underneath it. 7. And I'm not kidding you, we caught all 7. They just kept coming at the bait as soon as it dropped, and it was a shit ton of a fun time catching those things. And they run so fast. All right, I'll be watching that video. Before I've seen your channel, I've been watching Kicking their Bass TV. I'll have to check that out. I haven't heard that name before. Like I said, I'm a small channel, man. We just hit that 500 not too long ago. Now we're into the 600 mark. So we're getting there. Okay, now that we got that all tied up, we'll cut off our extra like a show. I doubt it, bro. I very much doubt it. Just keep going, though. Like I said, I'm just having fun with it, man. It's been a really good experience lately. Like I said, I've tried doing this once before. Didn't have a great experience with it. I let trolls get to me too much. But this go around, I'm just gonna keep doing my grind. Hopefully, people like my stuff. Okay, cut that off. We're gonna add in a little bit of glue on that thread wrap. I can't seem to get that needle. There we go. Skipjack, welcome. I'm not gonna quit, man. Not gonna quit. I'm behind it now. Like I said, I just want to keep the momentum, you know. like I said, it's been interesting too because I am purely on YouTube. You won't see my stuff anywhere else, and so it's very much been a social experiment on whether or not you can actually just make it purely on one social platform instead of just trying to blow up everywhere. I did that purposely because I really like to make my stuff, and I do a lot of editing to my videos, and I really try hard to make them entertaining to you guys. And so I want to focus all my energy on doing that kind of stuff, and then obviously like doing the live streams, make them entertaining for that end of it. So by focusing all my energy on the YouTube instead of just trying to dump content all over the place, I feel like it's just better for me mentally and better for you guys because I don't, like I said, I don't want to do the brain rot stuff. It wouldn't be fun for me if I did. Boom. There we go. Make sure you guys are joining, or make sure if you guys are just joining, we're doing a giveaway tonight for a float bed so you can make your own jigs. It's basically a setup to make and color your own jigs if you want to. The way that you enter in the giveaway is by putting Kfish with a capital K in the chat, and that automatically enters you into the giveaway. My stream bot will automatically throw you into it. We have 6 entries as of right now. Okay, someone wanted a bass jig, so we're gonna pop out some of these more bright colors, and we're gonna make a bass one. He made some really dope purple ones that I really want to try. Or you know what? Or I mean, not bass. I'm sorry, crappie. Actually, I want to do this gold one. Do gold. Oh shoot. This is like a really nice hook that he got on this one too. Look at that gold color on that. Yeah, the trending. Yeah, I mean, I get a little bit with that. It can be fun doing that kind of stuff with the shorts. I've had a couple of shorts actually do really well recently, but that's as trendy as I want to try and get with it anyway. I mean, obviously you still got to do the, clickbait titles and that kind of stuff. But I make my videos entertaining. I'm just not gonna, I don't think I'll be the Barbie lure guy or the Barbie fishing rod guy. You made a few, dude. I'll have to check that out, Stardust. I will definitely check that out, man. Looks like a pewter, cool looking. Yeah, it's like this is disco ball, I think is what it's called. There you go. Look at that. Alex? Word. I will remember that. Okay, we're gonna go with this color for the thread, I think. We're just gonna keep it mixy as we go. I don't have any design pattern with this one. We're just gonna do it on the fly. I have a design pattern, but I don't have color pattern. We're just gonna run it. But what we do need is some sort of flashy boo, and we'll go with this. I think that will look sick. Yeah, it's pretty saturated out there with the Roblox stuff, I have noticed. And that's never. I'm too old. I'm too old to be doing this. The Roblox, man. Okay, where's my marabou? There we go. What would be a good marabou color to go with this one? Honestly, we could keep it light. I feel like a white might be nice. Oh, never mind. I've got gold. Although fishing's been pretty saturated and it's pretty niche, but it's what I love to do, so I can't judge too hardly. I think I might change this up. I might not want to do this color. I might want to do something a little bit more muted. Maybe we'll just stick to some black. Yeah, I think black would be better. My advice, man, is if you're really interested in something, you know, in the outdoors or something like that, go for it. Make videos on it. Survival videos, whatever you want to do, man. People love that kind of stuff. Okay, so now I'm looking for a feather that doesn't have much of a spine to it. When I buy these marabous, it seems like it's more and more nowadays I get the ones that have spines in them, which I don't really use much. So the reason why I don't want spines is because they tend to feather out and flay out a lot better if I don't have them like that. But I take this, and this is something that I do. Oh, I've been doing too many of those. There we go. Been doing too many of the other jigs. This one we're going to take our thread all the way to the back. And then what I do is I take this and I take the side profiles off, kind of rip them out. And I like to stack them on top of the tail piece. It's just going to allow me to get a little bit of a fuller tail. Because I'm really only using the back end of this anyway, so it doesn't really matter much. So now I've got a little bit more of a fuller tail there. And we're going to wrap that in. We got a couple of strayers out that we'll clean up. Just like so. And then I'll cut all this garbage kind of a little bit back from the head. But we want to leave most of this going towards the head because we want to wrap that, and that's going to create a more uniform body. If I were to cut that right near the back, you notice quite a bit of lumping going on your jig, and so you don't really necessarily want that. By wrapping it all the way through, A, it makes this much stronger and harder to pull out, and B, it's going to give you a little bit more uniform shank to work off of. We'll wrap that right about there. Yeah, I might leave those long guys. They might come in handy there. Any suggestions on what GoPro? Whichever one works for you, man. Honestly, something I use a 9. It's a pretty old one. I know there's a lot newer ones out there, but yeah, I use a 9, and it works out really well for me. I think I'd like one of the newer ones just because they're smaller, and then you can also live stream off of them. Mine was like the last generation before you couldn't live stream. You know, go figure. But it's got really good features on it. It does really high def. You can do like 4K, which is typically what I run, and then you can. It's got like steady to it, so which is really nice for us bass fishing guys. Fishing in general guys. But the big key feature with any kind of GoPro is have a lot of batteries. You're gonna need a lot of batteries. Okay, so we got our flashy boo. We're gonna tie that in a little bit. That's on my side, and then I'm gonna flip it over and then tie it in on the other side there. And I'm gonna cut this off because we don't need it anymore. Actually, a little bit shorter. There we go. That's just gonna add a little bit of flair to the back end here as we're moving forward. Okay. Then we need some kind of fancy chenille. And I think what we'll do for this one, I've got yellow, but I don't really want to use yellow. Maybe I will. Yeah, let's use yellow. I don't get a chance to use that much, so that might be kind of nice and look clean on this one. Aftermarket kits. Oh, for like YouTube, like GoPro kits. Is that what you're talking about, Stardusted? Okay, you guys, we're running late. I'm gonna throw it up right now. Last go ahead. If you guys want to enter the giveaway, I'm gonna choose a winner here in about 10 seconds. So last time to jump in there, K-Fish on the chat will enter you into the giveaway. Okay, wrap that all the way to the front. Give it a half hitch. Run this around. Okay, 3, 2, 1. No freaking way. Oregon, it's yours, buddy. Shit, you might just be able to go pick it up. Man, I really hope Oregon's still in here. Okay, we're gonna stop right about there. Congrats, Oregon. That's yours, buddy. I'll send you pictures of it here shortly. Just so we all know, I did not choose it. It was randomly chosen from the giveaway. Oregon was chosen the winner. So we will get that to you here shortly, my man. You're gonna have to throw him a few unpainted jigs to get him started there, Dad. It was not. It was not rigged. That's the whole thing that I hope everybody gains from this. Is I'm trying to be as fair as I possibly can. So. Cleanies, be right back. Oh man, Stardust is bummed. So sorry, man. Okay, so the reason why I stopped about halfway back on this one, therapist is gonna hear about this. We'll do it again, man. I promise. We'll do it again. I promise. Well, that's gonna be cool, man. It's gonna be awesome to see you make some. Hopefully, you would make some jigs on stream and whatnot. All right, we're gonna do some dub in this one because I have this dope yellow dub.
Oh, I know what you're thinking. Oh, I've lucky auntie gone crazy.
But we need some legs first, and we're gonna add in some yellow legs.
I guess it's maglalachos for us. Go eat.
Absolutely try again in the future, man. It was a small pot. It was only 6 in the pot, man. So like your number of winning was high. I'm gonna go live Thursday and Friday. Yeah. Night, Dad. He was waiting to see who was gonna get it, and then he was done. I was keeping him up too late. I should have kept going. Made him stay up till till 1 in the morning. Okay. Now, I'm not going to cut these legs off just yet. I'm going to leave them be because they're going to be a nightmare later if I don't. So we're going to do a couple of half hitches. And I know how crazy this looks right now, but you'll see what I got planned here in a minute. Oh, I just realized I need to update live Nightbot there. We've passed that 500 mark. So this is called a dubbing loop. Now, if you guys are new to the fly tying, this is quite a ingenious little trick for adding in quite a bit of fun stuff here, which you're going to see here shortly. So I'm tying this in, and I created myself a loop on the back end of this. What I'm going to do with that, once I a couple half hitches on this, so that way this is no longer a problem. We'll get this out of our way, and we're going to start playing with this dubbing loop. So this here, we're going to go back to our 5-gallon bucket, and we're going to get this tool here, which is called a dubbing loop spinner. Crazy looking tool with 2 hooks on it, and we're going to hook it inside of our dubbing loop there. Then we're going to grab our super rad and fancy gold dub here. There's enough in here to make a ton of stuff. And we're going to put this, I don't even know, I've been out of streaming for a while now. I usually have my dubbing wax somewhere close by, but I'm not seeing it. So give me 1 second. Man, I don't know what I did with my dubbing wax. Well, we're going to run it without it and hope for the best. But what you do is you kind of just take these and you play them out like this. And that's going to get them somewhat in the same direction. And that's kind of what we're looking for. And then I'm going to take this whole pile and I'm going to kind of try and splay it out in my loop there. Now you guys can kind of see what I'm doing there. Then I want to add a little bit more than that actually. Let's really make this thing buggy looking. Take this, splay it out. Like so. And then we can start our wraps. And you're going to start to see this thing spin up. That's what we want. Stay until this one's done. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you hanging out with me this long, man. It's been fun having you, for sure. Okay. I'm just going to pluck it out. And then I'm going to get this out of my way. We'll leave my yarn up front there. And I'm just going to start rolling this thing back. And as I do that, I'm going to pull these back at the same time. And what you're going to try, I got to make sure I don't catch anything in it. That's the key here. And as I keep rolling this thing back and rolling it forward, I'm going to start to really kind of create this big fluffy body to this thing. Just kind of what we want here. I think that's plenty enough. Take our thread. We're going to to wrap it around these two tools a couple of times and then wrap it into our body. Without trying to catch as much as we can here. Then I can take this guy, cut him free. Just like so. We're going to give a couple secure wraps on the front of that, and then now we're going to take those legs, pull everything back, and we're going to start a head wrap on this thing. Now you guys are going to see this kind of thing look just crazy. We made a crazy, ugly looking lure, but once I find my brush, is it not in the 5-gallon bucket? It's not in the 5-gallon bucket. Where's my brush? Ah, there's my brush. We're going to give a few more, we're going to give the final wrap here. So we can cut that free and be done with that. Then I'm going to start pulling this bad boy apart here. And that's going to pull up a bunch of these loose ones, which is kind of what I want to do. I don't want a whole bunch in there. And it's going to start to thin it out. Just like so. Last piece of it, I cut these legs kind of short up to the head so that way they kind of stick straight out from the body. Like so. And then you can either leave these ones long in the back, but I kind of like to trim them up just a little bit. And we just need a little bit of cement. Sorry, I've been in, Cooley, I just saw your message. I'm sorry. I am doing well. How are you? And it's still going to have some coming out of there, but we're going to pull those free here in a second. And for you, it might be good morning, but for me, it is definitely late afternoon or late night. Okay. Now you guys can see that jig in action. Now when this is wet, you got to understand it's going to slender up. And so we have this really kind of gold with some legs coming off of it from gold body to going into that orange tail. And with this thing moving around in the water and flowing in the water, this thing's going to be killer, man. I know they look crazy, but I promise you these things are killer little jigs. GoPros are expensive, man. They're an investment for sure, but you can find them fairly cheaply online. As used, used anyway. But all right, so that one was on a request, but I'm gonna get back to my steelhead jigs and tying those ones up. I have made a mess with that gold. What a nightmare. Be careful. What's going on, Eric? All right. So back to need a white with UV. We got about half an hour left, so I'm gonna do one more steelhead jig, and then maybe we'll just do one of the big salmon jigs to kind of everything up. Ever hook my finger? Yes, I do. Especially with the salmon hook. These ones not so much, but the big salmon hook ones, like this one here, these guys hook me pretty frequently, and they're Kamagatsu 2x strong hooks, so they're very, very, very sharp. So I stick myself with these ones quite frequently. Okay, so you guys kind of know the drill at this point, but we're gonna roll this one with some black thread, since I kind of got it readily available. Wrap the body. I'm not going to go very far with the shank. We're only going to go right about there. Cut the tail end off, and then we go with our micro chenille. Micro chenille gets folded in half, cut in half, and we're going to take that without all the crap on it. Yeah, like I said, you can find them used sometimes, man. Or, you know, get an allowance or something like that. Also, you don't necessarily need a GoPro, man. You can just take a phone, and there's a lot of mounts that you can get for your phone that go in your chest as well that are really cheap nowadays, and just record it on your phone, man, if that's what you want to do. We're going to tie that in just like so. Make sure we get that chenille wrapped all the way to the head. Again, that's going to keep us that nice uniformed kind of body going all the way up. Once we've done that, we're going to go with our feathers. And we're going to try and find a long, slender one with lots of little pieces coming off the side, like that one's pretty good. We're going to take this one. Right there, you guys can see it's got all the little tendrils coming off, but we want this long, slender one because it becomes useful for the tail piece here. But I'm going to cut the back end of this tail piece off like so. We don't need any of that crap at the back. And we're going to splay out the feathers like that. Right? So you see how they're all splayed out? And then I tie that in right at the base there with the head of the feather. Once we got both these tied in, move on to the next step. We add in some of our other pieces we need. So we're going to need the, where is it? We're going to need the yarn right here to tie in on the underside. This is what's going to create this little yarn piece down here. And I typically take just about yay so. Yeah, you can do like a YouTube video from a chest mount on your phone. I mean, anytime I'm doing my videos, you guys can notice like sometimes I have dual cameras going on. I use a little bit of mixture of both. I use my GoPro and my phone. That fishing charter one, you guys can really see where I kind of mix them together. Just gonna cut a little bit off the front of this because it was a little too long. There we go. So Oregon, you're gonna start your own jig making company? Make your own painted jigs? I know a freshly retired guy that would make a bunch of jigs for you. And the last pieces we need our full type of chenille here. And we are going to preen the front of this back. So that way we have just the threads hanging out. We're going to tie that in. Now we pretty much have all the pieces involved. Next, we're just going to now start making the fly for the jig. Own use and friends, probably. I don't have the mental capacity to run my own business. I mean, you have your own merch shop, man. Which, I need to talk to you about that. I got some merch coming, so I need to figure out how to be able to get that on going here. Although I know you use like third party, so my merch is literally gonna be stock that I have. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, but I know we talked about just doing some more giveaways with that kind of stuff as well. I got hats, hoodies, and t-shirts coming soon. And it's not just K-Fish logos. I made it because something that I would want to wear. Because I figured nobody wanted to just wear my logo. So I made some cool artwork for the back. And then it's got my logo kind of literally just like this. Fishing with Nimby, bro. Nimby, you missed the giveaway, bro. Oregon snuck away with it. Fourth wall has been great for me. You knew it. Oh, man, I'm so sorry, man. Okay, fold that over. Pull that away. Let that tail wrap up nice. Beautiful. A little long on that one, but that's all right. Oh, no, that's actually really good. Run that in like so. Then we get our thread to the front. Old man let me know that he wants to do another one though, so catch another live stream and we'll do it again. Okay, boom. Just like that, we got the head wrap. I kind of like the black, I'm not gonna lie. I should have been doing black the whole time. Fourth wall is what I use for my merch. It's all print and demand, but they have really good customer service department. And yeah, so it's by purchase basically. So you're not stocking. I think I'll do that here eventually. I wasn't gonna do open merch till I hit 1,000. I think I was gonna save that. I know I can now, but I don't want anybody. I don't know. I just didn't feel right about it yet. So I feel fine giving it away, but I don't want people paying money for my stuff. Good. Cut that yarn loop and boom, another one down. Now we're starting to really get a stock of these things, man. Look at all that. Oop. See if I can line these up. Look at that. Look at that. Okay. We're going to move on to the... Oh, yeah. And plus our little gold dude. We're going to move on to the big boys. Now, if you're fresh to my live stream and you've never seen this before, these are massive, massive salmon jigs that we use here in the Pacific Northwest to catch, where'd I go with it? To catch big boys like this. So these jigs are 2x strong Kamagatsu hooks. They are massive half-ounce weights, which is pretty large for not comparatively to what ocean guys use, but for us here in the rivers, it's pretty big. So we're gonna do, let's see what colors I got going on. Yeah, we'll do a chartreuse head like this one here. Just for size comparison and reflection, this is the size of jig we've been tying. Okay, that's how much of a step up we're going to. Really need to update that Nightbot. I've been away from stream for a while, Went up to the top of Haleakala in Hawaii, the national park, the top of a volcano. Got my sticker. Oh, look at that sticker. Wow, it's a K-fish sticker. That's pretty cool. But anyway, I got this sticker, and I got kind of stickers from everywhere I go on this thing. Because I collect stickers. Okay. So for this one, we're going to need some rabbit fur. I think I'll do black. Do I have enough black to do the body, though? I do. Perfect. We're going to need some black marabou. Do I have black marabou? I've got a little. Perfect. It's coming up winning tonight, let me tell you. It does almost look comically big on a vise, does it not? It's crazy. I think when I first purchased this Renzetti Traveler, this thing was meant for doing small little flies, not my ginormous jigs. Okay, so this one we are going to wrap the hell out of because salmon have very sharp teeth. So we get our thread all the way towards the back. We'll cut our tail end about midway, and then we will continue the wrap. Like so. All the way to the back. Right where it starts to start the bend is where we're going to want to stop with that. Then I like to add in some kind of marabou at the back because it just adds a little extra bit of floatiness, if you will, at the tail, so it's not just straight cut. And I'll show you what I mean once I have kind of more pieces involved here, but it's hard to explain what I'm saying if you don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, let's grab that. Grab some of that. That's good. Add that in like so. Cut that off. We will spin that bad boy up because we want to make sure those things don't fall out. Okay, once we have that, now we're going to add in our tail. Our tail is made out of this rabbit fur. It's actually rabbit fur pelt. And I create just a long enough tail, something like that looks good to me. You guys have to be somewhat gentle on me too, because, oh, you know what? I'm going to use this one because I don't want to use that long one just yet. So we want, yep, something like that. Fluff. Yeah, there you go. Just got home and realized I forgot to turn the pumps off at work. I had to call and wake up my boss to go turn the pumps off. Oh no! Like the gas pumps. Hopefully he lives close. It's Friday. You were in a rush to get home. Like happens. Whoa. Okay, we got our tail in there now. Blame it on the new guy. All right. And we're going to cut this rabbit fur now at a 45-degree angle. Well, actually way more than a 45, real sharp angle. Because then we're going to just want to catch a little bit of this, wrap that in with our thread, and then we're going to wrap our thread a little higher than midway, but about midway in. And then I'm going to give it a half hitch. The new guy, but nah, that's my fault, my own mistakes. And I said it's Friday, you know, happens. Then I'm going to start wrapping this away from myself. And at the same time, I'm going about a 45-degree angle on top of the previous one and holding the fur back at the same time. And that's going to allow it to start to stack really nicely. And it's going to kind of make all the hairs push themselves backwards. Just like so. Once we get up to here, we can wrap the, come on, let go. Wrap it off. Tie it off, and then we can go underneath and cut our excess away. And I like to just give a couple wraps here to kind of help hold in that front of that thing, but I don't want to go too crazy because I want to make sure that I don't just absolutely like make a pile right there. But there we go. Now we got our tail, we got our body. We're looking good. We got that under fluff, if you will. That's what I used that marabou for. Otherwise, as you guys can see, if I didn't have this, it would just kind of be a squared off tail to the body. That marabou just kind of helps fill in, give it a little bit more of a profile, if you will. But now we add in our legs of this portion of it. So this one, since we got that chartreuse head, we're going to use some chartreuse. Come on. Some chartreuse legs. And for this, I typically add in 2 on either side. And how you do this is you take the 2 your legs, you wrap them around your bobkin here. And then I just pull that into where, actually go towards the head. But I pull that into where I'd start wanting to lay it, and then I pull it back, and then start wrapping it back towards the front of that fur. I know that's on the opposite side of you guys, but I'm going to do one on the other side. Now you can kind of see what I did there. Smart choice, smart choice. Oh no. Leg broke apart on me on that one. Get 2 more here. Oh my god, what's going on? That leg broke again, but I think it's shortened. It's long enough I can still use it, so we're gonna wrap anyway. Wrap all the way back, just like so. Okay, now that we got that in there, the very last piece is we go back with our fur, like this one here. We're gonna cut that at that 45-degree angle again. And then we're going to tie that in just on the top. Now that we got all of our pieces involved at this section, now I can run my thread wraps to the front here. Cops already. Yeah, don't get caught, bro. And then, once I've ringed in my bobber a little bit here, I'm going to pull this tool over, get that in front, and we're going to start our wraps one more time. Wrapping forward as we go. Boom, just like so. Catch that on the bottom side. 1, 2, 3. Wrap the head. Now I can cut my excess fur off here. And then we start to give ourselves that head wrap, and that's going to help kind of lay everything backwards. Whoops, that was a little crazy. Don't mind the absolutely squeaky bobbin. There we go. Then we take our whip finish, this crazy looking tool. To the guy in the Russian chat, appreciate you joining. Can't read it though, brother. We're gonna do one more whip finish here. Hey, how you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Cut our legs to length. These ones I leave pretty long. Cook, welcome. Given, where you been, man? How you been, brother? Oh. Thanks for the dropping of the like, man. I appreciate it. We did really well tonight with the likes, so I love it. Okay, last piece of this one. We need to do the UV resin. So to make sure that I have my flashlight handy. You guys are going to love this one because we get to do all the lighting. Evan Roberts. It's lure. I'm not sure what you mean in there, brother. And Bryson Cook, welcome. Thank you for dropping in the chat. All right, I'm going to pull these, look my fingers here, and get some of these fur pulled back. Help me kind of get this. Now I'm going to take all my focus here and get this UV resin on those head wraps. Just like so. And use my bobkin here to kind of just help layer everything out. Just like that. Now we get to do the fun part. Fishing, yes, this is a fishing lure. Evan, thank you so much, man. And now we're gonna get that resin in there. I use this lure to catch fish like this one. Big old salmon. There we go. Now what that did is that resin that we put there, oops, let me clean off my bobkin, is now like rock hard. You guys probably can see that, but you can't hear it. Hold on. Hear that? It's rock hard now. Do I ever do any fly fishing? Yes, I do. I mostly make jigs on my streams, but I have tied quite a few flies. And I'm looking, now that we're getting into the summer months, I am looking into making some more flies here on my stream. But yes, I definitely do a lot of flies. And actually, Bryson, if you're subscribed, the next Thursday or Friday of next week, I'm going to be giving away a fly box full of flies. So, thank you, Evan. Yeah, this is going to be killer for catching some of the salmon we have here. I'll go grab my box here since we're kind of ending stream here, and I'll show you some of the other ones I made. Give me 1 second. So this was my original box of some of the jigs that I've made. There's quite a few of them in there. Starting off with some of like these pink ones. Salmon obviously really like pink. And then I do a lot of chartreuse and blacks and that kind of thing. Sometimes I do greens and blues. Like there's this blue one here. Anyway, yeah, so that's box one. And then this is box two of even more that I've made. So this one actually is a design that I came up with. It's called the Row. It's a jig design that I have actually a tutorial for on my channel. So very big jig, but look at all the action in that thing. So they will love this one for sure. And then it thins out obviously in the water, but you still get dual action with it. It is not hard, man. If you want,
Those irons,
one night, if you're into it, I will tie a bunch of flies for you,
I
and
think
I'll
the
show you at
biggest thing
least
is
the
the
techniques
sound.
to start
That
tying
sound when
flies.
it comes when you hit a golf
And
ball,
you can
that,
get
like,
kits online really cheaply.
that is like I think
And
one of
then
the coolest
you
sounds
can
in
kind of
golf,
just
and
go
these
from
new
there.
irons really produce that sound.
We kind of
Yeah,
have an
so we did a
identity
giveaway tonight. I
tattoo
gave
on
a
what we feel like is the best
$150
sound and feel of the club, and we
jig
really
making
executed with
kit
that.
to a guy tonight, Oregon, and he will be obviously receiving that later in the next coming weeks. But the next week after that, we're going to do our
Completed
fly
the
box giveaway.
longest travel day
I'll
of
go
my
grab
life, and I truly don't think I
part
could
of
have
it
done
anyway.
it without these
Hold on
Paleo
one second.
Valley beef sticks. Took 2 days, multiple red eyes, closed restaurants after landing in the middle of the night, and all the questionable airplane food. I brought like 6 of these beef sticks with me, and I'm so glad I did. They're 100% grass-fed and grass-finished beef. They each have 6 grams of protein, no sugar, no artificial ingredients. I always have these with me on the go, so I already knew this was.
So this isn't the one that I'm going to do,
There's so many
but
different flavors, all made with organic spices. Right
the
now,
one
you
that
can
I
mix
am
and
going to do
match
is going to look
30
similar
for
to this.
$36. You can click the link below.
We're going to
grab
give
the
away
promotion.
a fly box to somebody that would want something, and it's a fly box full of flies. So, and I will literally just keep dumping them in there, even if there's not space. So that one's going to be given away on a stream here shortly. Casting or spinning? I do both. For salmon, you actually carry 2 rods with you. I carry a spinning rod and I carry a bait casting rod, because there's 2 different techniques that we use to catch them, and that's both techniques kind of take both types of rods. So, and I fly fish. I bait caster. I use basically anything out there that's out there. I try and use, because I'm I'm a multi-species angler, so I fish for a lot of different things, whether that be salmon, like the one picture I showed you, or it'd be like some bass, something like that. I kind of go for them all. So trout, anything fishing related is my jam. So, but any last questions as we're kind of tying up here tonight? As we call it a night. Like I said, make sure that you guys, if you haven't already, to the people that are joining in, thank you so much for hanging out with me as long as you did. And if you're just joining in, make sure you guys subscribe. I go live on Thursdays and Fridays, and then I have a new video every Wednesday. I have actually a really dope video coming out this next Wednesday. So, it's about my whole trip in Hawaii. Matter of fact, when I was in Hawaii fishing for mahi-mahi, I was using a reel about this size, actually much bigger than this one, cranking them in on this, and that just gives you the idea of like how big of a fish those things are. Massive fish. So that was my most recent video. So if you guys haven't checked that out, make sure you guys go check it out. So you fish this is the one that you prefer the most. Salmon? Yeah, I'd say for my region, salmon is the most fun for me to catch. Mostly go for them in the rivers, and they're big fish, and so it's just a lot of fun to catch a big fish in a river, because they like to run up and down the river, and they can really take you for a ride. So steelhead's actually the best, but I don't get to catch them that often. They've pretty highly regulated it in my area, so fortunately I don't get to fish for them that often. But anyways, guys, I'm going to call it a night. That was my time here on the Late stream. Again, thank you so much for everybody that subscribed. I will, Oregon, I will get that box sent out to you here shortly, so you can start making your jigs. Peace out, everybody. Have a good night.